Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Parental with a Purpose. I am your host, Donna Janelle.
And I am your co-host, Pamela.
And we have a guest here today, Tiffany Barnes. Hello, Tiff. Welcome to the studio.
What's going on, Tiff?
All right. So as you know, Parental with a Purpose, we are here to bring awareness, to bring knowledge, to bring whatever you need as far as parenting, the whole space of parenting. We know that parents are the bows, our children are arrows, and they will land wherever we aim them as long as we give them the tools, as long as we equip them and don't send them outside naked. Why? Because the world will dress our kids with whatever. Y'all see what's going on now. I don't even got to get into it. Do y'all see what's going on now? What these kids are being dressed with? So here, our focus is to make sure that you get the information that you need so that you can be successful. So tonight, though, we've been dealing a lot with school. We've been dealing with parental involvement, whether in school or even just in the community. Parents just need to be involved. There's a mandate on parenting right now. And we're here to tell you that there is a mandate and that we are responsible to bring back the responsibilities, nobility, and beauty back into parenting. So tonight, our guest, Tiffany, you want to go by Tiff or Tiffany?
Either one.
T, what's going on? So Tiffany is a school counselor. She is master's in education, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, whatever you want the audience to know. And then we're going to dig right into what we're actually talking about tonight, which is very eye-opening and enlightening for me.
Okay. So as Donna said, my name is Tiffany Barnes. I am an elementary school counselor with the Brandywine School District. I work at Maple Lane Elementary School. I've been an educator for over 20 years. And a school counselor for just about 9 years.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have taught every level from pre-K all the way up to like 8th grade. So I'm elementary, middle school level.
You ain't messing with them high school kids, huh?
No.
That's not my story.
No.
Flag on the plate for change.
Yeah, no. And so I provide personal, social, emotional, academic supports in the classes through small groups and individuals. So I work closely with everyone, admin, teachers, students, families. The list goes on.
It's like a whole melting pot. You it.
Yeah, I'm it.
Because that was one of my questions. I was going to say, do you deal personally with the family, such as the parents or guardians and that nature?
Yes.
How's that
Yeah.
experience?
I like it. Hopefully, the families like me.
Listen, you still in it. They ain't vote you out of the school yet. So.
No. I try to build relationships with our students and with our families. I try to maintain those relationships and make sure that they know that, I'm here to listen to them. I'm here for them to be heard. So, and if I can help in any way, I do it.
Absolutely. So have you been at this school from your 20 years that you've been in education?
No. Oh. So I started at Maple Lane maybe 10 years ago, something like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. No, 9. It was 9. So I started at Maple Lane 9 years ago. I became the second grade teacher there for a year. And then that summer, I was our school counselor moved to another school. And then I became the school counselor because
wow.
I had that degree.
Now, did you always want to be a school counselor? Because I know, because that's a little different from just being a teacher in the classroom.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, I think I always wanted to work with children. Counseling, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought I was going to work with adults at first, but children are my passion.
Something about them kids, right?
Something about them. They tug on my heartstrings. So
do you have to go inside the homes?
I don't. Okay. Not often.
Okay.
I would say, if I need to, I will. So we do have a social worker that the social worker will go do home visits. But if I need to do a home visit, I can.
Oh wow! I thought about that. When I was younger, I don't recall anybody coming to no home visits from school or anything. I remember them called CPS. Them other people came.
Yeah. No. So sometimes we know our families. So
right.
Sometimes our families might need a little nudge or a little home visit from our admin or myself or social worker. So we will do that. We'll do our due diligence before we call or anything like that.
You remember the movie Lean on Me? I might be dating. Oh, you do? Okay.
Come on.
Flag, sis. I'm sorry. Sis, I'm sorry. I was just saying. I was just wanted to make sure that you was on a. Okay, I'm sorry. So Lena.
You was cutting up all day today. She done got her new braids. With her little crinkles on the end. She's showing off.
Lean on me, right? And remember, they went into the home, like, to go check and see what was going on, and they found out situation and circumstances, and then the school was able to help and provide for that family because they got a chance to have a deeper look. Like, I was wondering if that goes, like, I don't think that goes on now, but that would be like, it does. That's a nice help.
So schools are part of the community.
Yeah.
So we are here to help. We're not just here to educate. So there are resources that we provide that a lot of families may not know. Like, again, we have a school social worker. So and they will be able to provide our families, like, of course you have to, it's protocols and things that you have to do and to qualify for those resources. But if you qualify for those resources, you will get them.
Wow.
And schools are there. They are there to help. They are there to provide different, like, if you need food, we have food. We partner with the Food Bank of Delaware.
Wow.
Or we partner with if you need some clothes, we will make a way. Our PTOs or PTAs, they will help. Like, there are resources within the school systems that are there for families.
So my next thing is, I remember in high school having a guidance counselor. I believe there was some in middle school, but I didn't have to deal with them personally. I was more so administration. But at this grade level, how do you get connected? Do you have to sign your children up to have, the guidance counselor? Like, how does that work? Is it like IEPs or?
So with the Brandywine School District, we are MTSS school district, which is a multi-tiered systems of support.
Okay? Oh, wait, so, that's something different too.
Yeah, so we have different tiers. So we provide interventions for all of our students. So we have tier 1 interventions, and tier 1 is for all students.
Okay.
Every single one, not anyone is left behind in those interventions. Then you have which is tier 2 and tier 3. Tier 2 are students that need some more supports besides those tier 1. So they'll keep getting those tier 1 supports, but they might need a little bit of extra support in that tier 2 process. The tier 3 students is a little small group of students that might need a little bit more intervention. So any one of those tiers, they don't stop those interventions. They keep the tier 1, the tier 2, and they will also receive a tier 3 intervention.
Wow. I think, I don't know if a lot of parents know how much support there is available for how many resources it is. Because I didn't even know, and I kind of think that I know a lot about resources for parents, and I didn't even know it's at those levels. I think that it's so important though to be that multi-tier, because to be support. I like what you said earlier, Tiff. You said that we are not here just to educate your kids.
No.
Can you break that down a little bit more?
So like I said, we are a community. We are a family. We are your extended family. So when I come in my school building, those are my babies, okay? So if you know that I'm in your school, just know that I'm taking care of your babies. Because I treat them like I would treat my own kids because,
And just not playing.
I'm not playing. I am not playing because they are mine.
I get it.
And I make sure that they are safe. We keep them safe and everything. But, we are like an extended family.
I think that is so important because when we talk about parental involvement, that's what we've really been talking about. Like, my thing this year and everything I talk about is around here we put in the work.
Right.
That's the thing. Like, Parental with a Purpose, around here we put in the work. And it's just such a mandate on parents putting in the work because every time there's something going on in the kid, the first thing they do is say, where's the parents? What's going on? And my question is, have we resourced those parents?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have we given them the tools?
So that's good that you said that. Don't you start with me. So, It's good that you said that, because if you don't know, how can you utilize the resources? Because like I said, I remember it in high school. I'm sure they were there in middle school, but like you said, it was certain criteria. But why do I have to be labeled or marked as this to have those resources?
Right.
So what, in your school district, what is something that the parents have to do so they can be informed of those resources that aren't just, on packets, on the website, given out on different agendas and calendars and things of that nature?
So let me see if you are asking me if I'm in understanding your question. How do families get involved with school counselors in my district? So again, I'm there for the whole school.
Yeah.
So it's not just certain students see me. It's not just certain things. They might get certain students might get a little bit more of me.
Right.
But I'm there to service the whole student, all of the students, so that I go into the classrooms where I teach lessons in the classroom.
Wow.
I teach small groups, and I may see some individuals, but I am there for the entire school.
I think that holistic approach is so amazing, because so many times, I don't know if y'all notice, like in this world, in this culture that we live in, we want to separate everything, separate the church from the school, separate the church from the state, separate, there's even been a separation of parenting in these sectors as well. And it's like, why are we separating things in order for, like, you're only strong when you have multiple people. Like, you can't be an island. I tried that parenting thing on my own, really being an island and not tapping the resources. Man, I almost killed myself with that one.
No, we have to be a unified front, and our students have to see that we are a unified front. So say your baby came to my school, so your baby needs to see that me and you talk.
Yeah,
we have to have that open line of communication, in order for them to see that, man, I can't play two sides.
Can't play with it. Can't play with it. Yo, because kids, man.
I got my first phone call this week. I did, and it wasn't like bad, but I really appreciated the phone call. Me and the teacher communicate through email, but something she said is, I really thank you so much for being a parent that is not just big on education. Like, you want to know full circle. And I was like, oh, of course, because I don't want my kid being the kid that, is excelling, but because of behavior, you can't really do what you need to do. You can't have access to certain things. So you making the grades, but your behavior sucks. I don't want that. So I need to know everything. I said, so if you need to call me, if you need to hit me on the app, do what you need to do.
Show up at my house. Hey, Tiff, what's up?
Because
Show up at my house.
we're not just raising an academic child. We're not just raising that. We're raising one that needs to be socially, emotionally well. We need one to be well within the mental health. We need one to be well academically, socially, educationally, everywhere.
Spiritually.
Everywhere.
Financially,
socially,
with your
physically,
families and your schools.
Yeah, like
all of that.
I think that is so important, because I think about my job as a nurse, right? I deal with medically complex peds. And when you say they're your babies, like, these babies are my babies. Like, I take care of them as if the parents be laughing. They be like, look at you with her. Yes, because this is my baby. I make sure that everything is straight and that I partner with the parent. If I notice something or something, like, I'm all about preventive. And it sounds like that's what you're gaming at. It's like everybody have access to you, because it's not just about we're proactive, not just reactive.
We can't be reactive, because if we're reacting to something,
we're behind the eight ball. Yeah, we're behind. All right, so talk to us, Tiff, about so the hot topic tonight is this digital thing. Like, you got this whole digital citizenship thing. So I want you to explain to us about like, when I think about citizenship, I'm thinking about being in another country or like something foreign, right? Like, I'm now becoming a citizen of the United States or UK or something like that. So talk about this digital citizenship.
So if you think about citizenship, you're thinking of, understanding and adhering to the rules and the regulations of, where you living, right?
Right.
So digital citizenship is positively existing in the digital world, in digital spaces. So we want to make sure that our children are being positive digital citizens. So
that's new terms, girl.
Yeah, not cyberbullying, and we don't want them to send out negative images and different things out into the digital world, because a lot of times we can't take it back. So once it's out there, it's out there. You can't take it back. So we know that, as we're growing up in this age, there's new things happening. More and more digital spaces, more and more apps, more and more platforms, more and more different things that our kids can have access to. So we want to make sure that we are monitoring those devices, we're monitoring those spaces so that they are getting a positive result back.
Right. You said earlier before we started the show, we were talking about this a little bit, and not avoiding, like, we can't avoid the digital world because that's just what we are. And it's not, I think, at least for me, everything is not always bad.
Right.
Things that are meant to be good can be used for bad.
Yes.
But it's all about the individual or the organization of how they use that. So how do we remain positive in such a digital world where it seems so dark?
Yeah. So just like we say in eating something, say, I like cake or whatever. So we would say, I can't eat cake every day, or I can't eat cake every hour or anything like that, but I will eat it in moderation.
Right.
So I would have to set some boundaries for myself in order not to eat the cake every day.
Right.
So it's the same for these digital spaces. We need to make sure that we're setting healthy boundaries for our students and making sure that the sites that they're going on are age appropriate.
Right. I just seen on Instagram, they have an Instagram for teens now. They kind of, I guess, because everything that was going on with Instagram and, child trafficking and pedophiles and a lot of different things, and these kids have really got in some deep, dark, dangerous stuff. They now have, I didn't tap into it, but I just been seeing a lot of Instagram for teens. I guess they're trying to welcome teens, but in a safe environment.
In a safer way. I guess that's what they're trying to do, but still, as parents, we need to be mindful, and we still need to track what our
because the creeps is
everywhere.
Because they still can come out. They will find those loopholes and those doorways for them to come out. And so, be open with your kids and making sure, like, if we're not hiding from them, they won't hide from us.
Whoa.
So being open and having those healthy conversations and saying, hey, you guys can tell me about anything you want. I'm not here to judge you, but I am here to parent you. I'm here to guide you.
Right.
It's not here to, you're not going to get in trouble, but I need to know what you are doing.
Right.
I need to know so that I can help guide you, not put you out or put you down or do anything like that. But I am here to guide you. Certain things you can do online and certain things we shouldn't do. Let's wait until we get a little bit older.
I remember when my kids was, you and I talked about this earlier too. Like, we are the generation that had both worlds. Like the world without the internet like that, and then the world with the internet. And I remember when my kids were younger.
Hold on, Donna.
Yeah.
Are you taking a shot at me again?
No, we were talking about it earlier.
Flag on the play. I was not, but since you said it, so anyway, flag on the play, Pam. I was not. You know when I'm coming at you. Oh. No, but for real, like, we haven't, like, I mean, you grew up straight internet, like, for real.
No, I didn't.
Wait, Pam.
When was your first phone? How old were you when you had your first phone?
I don't remember.
You was that young?
No, like, I
She
really
wasn't
don't
that
remember.
young. She wasn't.
Because a phone to me, like, having minutes on the phone was not having, like, a phone.
Yeah, but that was the first phone, though.
Yeah.
But I can't remember.
Yeah,
But I wasn't that young, but I wasn't that old either.
So
Dang,
about
Tiff.
how old
Let me
were
call
you?
my mom.
Let me use the phone to call my mom, right?
Yeah.
No,
So
but
remember, we grew up with payphones. We still have to have a quarter in our pocket.
Yeah, we used to have, of course. I mean, we had beepers and all that and stuff like that.
No.
2 ways, but never. But now I know, like, as the kids were growing, I was so. A lot of times, a lot of parents parent out of fear, especially when we come to digital, right? I remember I wouldn't allow my kids to get social media. because I was like, there's too much going on with social media. Like kids were getting kidnapped. It was just a lot of negative things about social media. So I remember at one time, I think my kids probably was like, the girls was probably like 12 or 13, and they wanted an Instagram account. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
And then it was like, well, I explained to them why. But they went behind my back because that's what kids do, and they got an Instagram account, and they
were sharing it.
They both had their own. So they was in the back seat of my car talking, and they was talking about this. Right? They gave themselves up. Like, what's going on? Like, I'm very attentive. I can hear without even looking at you. Right? I got ears behind my neck. So, so they were talking about it, and I was like, wait, what? And they had an Instagram account. So I was very upset. Because I was trying to explain to them the dangers of it. And I kind of went all the way out there because I'm open with my kids. So I'm like, so I gave them all these crazy scenarios, right? About somebody finding their information, coming up to the school, getting them. And I was like, and they're not even just going to have you in the same state you live in. They're sending you across state, across the country. And then I was a little graphic, y'all. And I was like, and then they're going to be putting stuff in all your holes. Like all your holes, your ears, your nose, like everything. And my girls was like, wait. I don't understand what you're saying. I said, well, let me make myself clear. So I had to break it down to them to understand the fear behind why I don't want you to be a part of it. But then as time, everybody was in the digital world, and because Chromebooks and iPads and all this stuff and all these apps and stuff, I had to start learning about it a little bit more. And okay, now we have to have some healthy boundaries around it. Like I can't hide and be in fear of it.
Yeah, but you can't live in fear of it because it's here and it's here to stay. Simple as that.
Period.
Like technology is growing and growing and growing. And so we have to just set those healthy boundaries and guidelines. And instead of telling them about the bad stuff,
don't be like me. Tell them about
you can't just tell them about the bad. There's some good in it. There's a lot of educational platforms that our kids can utilize. There are a lot of videos and different things that they can learn from. Some like you were talking about your nephew and how he might like certain things. So you can use the internet, you can use the social media to gain access to those certain things that you like. So say my son was into cars. You can use those platforms to gain access to learn how to deal with cars. You can learn how to make cars. You can learn how to fix cars. You can learn how to paint cars. Like whatever it is about those cars. Finding the beauty in it. Finding the beauty. You can't just, tell them about the negative, but there are other ways that you can use those platforms and for and gain that experience.
Because that almost go back to when Tiff said the hiding thing. Like if we not hiding them from them, they won't hide. So what you just saying, all the negatives, it's almost like you hiding stuff from them. Because is it really this bad? Like I know a lot of people who have it. That's why they snuck and got it. So it's like no, but like you said, these are things that can really happen. But these could be the benefits. But because you didn't have much knowledge in that area of the app and different stuff, it's like I just need you to stay away.
Stay away.
Instead of us.
Let me do some research with you.
Let's do the research together. Let's do this together. That can be a bonding moment with you and your child. You know what I mean? So embrace it.
I think,
just have them teach you a little bit and let them show you what they're doing, and then you just. Monitor it.
I like what you said because like it literally just checked me. Like a lot of times in parenting, we always talk about the bad, what we don't want our kids to do, because a lot of us are parenting out of fear, right? So what we don't want our kids to get into, instead of showing them the beauty and the things that are here. Like I think that's just so amazing. Like I really do look at. And I don't even know why I would look at the internet so dark when I use it as a platform to help motivate and give people tools, right? So why wouldn't I allow my child to have that type of access that will help them? YouTube. I'm a fan of YouTube University. Let me tell y'all. Let me tell you what I did the other day. Listen, y'all know I'm a single mom out here in these streets.
Yes. I learned how to braid from YouTube, okay?
Listen, I changed. Let me tell you, I changed my windshield blades, right? I changed my engine air filter.
Okay.
And I changed my cabin air filter. by myself. You know what? Because them fools were trying to charge me $300 to do that. And I was like, I could go to Amazon, order this, that, and the other. It's really, you just got to take the time. So the guy across the street, he was like, I never seen a woman pop a hood up like that. And I was like,
I'm about to get busy.
Right. So yeah, and that's kind of what I was alluding to before. Like, use it as a way to gain access to spark interest in whatever in your interests and what have you.
So Tiff, tell us how important the digital world is. Like we hear like our users to access A, B, and C, but tell us how important digital citizenship is.
Well, again, we want to have those positive and healthy boundaries. So it is important for us as parents to set them for our children. I keep calling them students.
Student, baby, children, all these kids, and Tiff kids.
Yeah, they mind. But setting those boundaries and monitoring what your child is doing online is very, very important, because you don't want them to go down the rabbit hole. You don't want them to get in those dark spaces, and then where, it might be messing with their mind or what have you. And then that's where I, as the school counselor, have to come in and say, hey, parent, this is what your baby said today.
Right.
And we need to figure out what we need to do to help them get out of this space.
You guys monitor all internet access, right?
What grades do y'all start?
So each student will receive a Chromebook from kindergarten all the way up to high school, 12th grade, senior year, and seniors. And they get to take the device home at third grade.
Oh, okay.
So kindergarten, first and second grade, in Brandywine School District anyway, they stay at the school.
Okay.
But at third grade, because that's where, third grade is a transitional year. That's when all that homework and stuff come in. They learn new concepts and everything. So they get to take their Chromebooks home then. So some parents say, hey, nope, we don't want it. And we accommodate those parents that say we don't want the Chromebook to come home.
Wow.
We keep them at school.
Yeah. So I know with my son's school, when my daughters, they went to the same school, their school counselor, I guess certain things get flagged when they're on. That's what I was alluding to. I'm sorry. About how you guys monitor the usage of, because I didn't know this until my daughter, the 16-year-old, who tested my inner gangster, y'all know I got a story for y'all, but I'm gonna wait. Test my inner gangster. She got homecoming tomorrow, so I'm trying to be nice. But she told me about, I didn't know Google Docs, right? Like, I know what Google Docs is, right? But she was explaining to me how the kids, like, they have Google Docs and they talk about people, they images, like, it's a lot of stuff, like these secret.
So they're sharing it with each other.
Yeah.
So somebody is sharing a Google Doc and with someone, and then they're just putting up hateful and mean things.
Yes.
Yeah, that's.
And nobody knows, like, if the teacher walked past, they could switch it or whatever on their Chromebook, so you don't even know that they're engaging in this kind of stuff. But that's how a lot of backdoor bullying and things like that. Yeah. She was sharing some information, some bad information that was put out about this young lady, about their whole living situation, the parents and everything. And I was like, kids talk about people like that?
Yeah. So at Brandywine, we have what's called Go Guardian. So the teachers are able to see what's on every single one of our their classes Chromebook. So if they're doing an assignment and say one student A decides not to do that assignment and do something else, the teacher is able to see it and they are able to shut it down.
So when I was still teaching, I never forget. So I'm at the after school program, and this is during COVID. The kids, they there, and one of the teachers, she called a student name. What you doing? I guess just trying to give them a warning. I ain't doing nothing. But I keep hearing his name be called by the teacher he's supposed to be in class with. I said, what are you doing? Are you supposed to be on that? He gonna tell me, like, the teacher cut the whole thing off, and I sat there and she was like, Thank you, Mrs. Chapman. And I said, oh, like basically I told, because I said, what are you doing? Like, should you be on it? He's playing the whole game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you basically giving you like a warning, like I could see it. I could see it. She just shut the whole thing down.
Yep.
So now you missing points. And now your grade is being affected because you're not doing your assignments.
Yep.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm glad that they could monitor it because, like you said, well, I know kindergartners that are able to take their Chromebooks home, and I was like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, because
we got a lot of
honestly, because they got their iPads at home and stuff. Like,
But
these kids-
transporting that,
Transporting.
That's the thing,
I think we used to. We used to allow our kindergartners and every kindergarten, third, second grade take their Chromebooks home. However, I think our district kind of looked back on it and thought about it and was like, let's keep them here. Let's just keep them here.
parents was probably using them.
Right. Or we got to pay for because they breaking and stuff like they handling them.
Yes, they do. They have to sign an agreement, and if they break them, they have to pay for them. Yes. Also, our district does monitor our searches for the students. So we can get flagged for certain searches that if there's a threat, any type of threat,
right,
it'll get flagged, and then the principal will get called and say, we need to go and check on this student, and we will have to take the Chromebook and do a whole investigation on it.
I think parents don't even realize that you know that you can do that on your kids' stuff. Like, you can flag pages, you can set up their search engine. You can do that's the good thing about this digital
setting
world.
Parental guidelines on their phones, tablets, whatever it is that they have. You can set those up.
Wow.
As to what you want them to see and have access to.
Mm-hmm. So Tiff, in this digital world, and us parents who are trying to navigate without being fearful, what are some tools or some techniques that you can share with parents to be a little bit more comfortable with exploring the idea of digital citizenship?
Yeah, just guide the conversations that you have with your children. Guide them to let them know what you expect. Set down those boundaries and expectations. Tell them that, keep your private information private. Making sure that you're not sending stuff across that you don't want. If you don't want mama to see it, don't send it.
Right. That part.
Period. If you don't want me to see it, don't send it.
Right.
Reread what you're putting out there and making sure that we are just like in society. You want to treat people the way you want to be treated.
Right.
So making sure that even digitally, we're treating others the way we want to be treated, because we get some online people that get very, very buff.
Right. They hide behind a keyboard and they want to say and do whatever they want.
Yes, but come in person, you don't want to say nothing.
Right.
Let's not do that.
Yeah.
If you see that on,
you can tell. I seen them. They was talking that beef on there, and then all of a sudden they showed up at school.
and then you got me involved.
Look, right to school counselor talk about A, B, and C. All that they put out there, right?
Yeah, let's not do that. And then cyberbullying, we want to make sure that our children aren't being cyberbullied and they're not bullying others online, because like I said, people want to act big and bad behind a screen. But remember, our students, our kids, they're going back to school. So if you're saying something online negative about a classmate or something, you're going back to school with them.
Yeah.
So
and you young, you're gonna be with them for a long time. Grades, like. Yeah.
So that that's something that we're dealing with, even at the elementary school. So yeah. So that's just just be mindful that be careful of what.
Is it happening in like kindergarten and first grade, or is it more so like that third?
More that fourth and fifth grade.
Because when you think about it, like I don't know if you guys seen, like I see a lot of stuff on the internet or CNN and stuff like that about kids committing suicide, right?
Yes.
When we talk about cyberbullying,
And they're getting younger and younger.
and they're getting younger. Like when you said, or we talk about kindergarten, there's kindergartners, 5 and 6 year olds who are actually committing suicide. And that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. Not only like they're being cyberbullied, right? But then they're researching and figuring out how to kill themselves. So that's the danger about the internet. And that's the scary part. It's
Talking
like,
to the phones and the
Yeah.
the
And
laptops.
that's what I said. Our district monitors that stuff. So any threat, any type of threat. So if they type in those keywords about, say school shootings or suicide or bombing or something like that, our district is already alerted. Mm-hmm. So as soon as our students are keying in those words, so we are alerted, and then that's when we have to take action.
do you recommend that parents, when we talk about monitoring, their digital activity, do you recommend that parents go in the kids' phone, in our children's phone, like look at some tech, because everything is on privacy now. Privacy. Look at their text messages, look at their phone logs, see what they've been searching on the internet. Do you recommend that parents do that? Because I feel like, this is just my personal opinion about parenting, is that a lot of kids don't know. Right?
What they don't know.
They don't know what they don't know. So our job as a parent is supposed to know what they don't know and teach them what they don't know.
Right.
So if it takes me I text my kid phone, let me see your phone. Unlock your phone.
Yeah.
Because they lock their phones.
That's what I thought you was going to ask. Do you recommend going through it with them
Or without, or either way, do you recommend going through their phone? Like
I would have that conversation with them. You have a like our kids, they have a voice. So, and we have to make sure that we're listening to them.
Yes.
Yeah, they might say something about privacy, this, that, and the third, but let them know that you're there to support and guide them. And sometimes they, like you guys just said, they don't know what they don't know. So I go through on my kids' phones. I go through my mom's
first of all,
phone.
I'm paying I go through my mom's phone.
She my baby too. I would go through their phone, but I would also tell them why. Like, don't have that conversation. Don't just do it and not tell them why. Because in this day and age, our kids need to know why, and they deserve that. They deserve that understanding of why you're doing what you're doing.
That's good, Tiff, because I think long are the days where you just do it because I said so.
Right.
Or this is how I feel. I think having communication with our kids, I think that's why our kids are brighter than we were at our age, because they know so much. And sometimes people say, oh, they know too much. No, they know enough to make sure that they can make clear and decisive decisions. Like, our kids have a voice, like
and
you
I
said.
want them to reach their full potential.
Yeah, like, there you go. I think a lot of times, and no slight to parents who from back in the day, but a lot of times parents hinder and stifle their children based on fear, or they didn't even. I feel like when you research parenting back in the day, it was all about food, clothes, and shelter. It was not about mental. It was not about emotional. It was about. I just did a group workshop the other day, and we were talking about active listening and expressing emotions effectively, right? And a lot of times, the things that they were saying in there, we were talking about, it's transgenerational. Like, one lady shared that she wasn't able to share her emotions as a child. So when she became adult, she just became over emotional. I'm grown now and I can share every emotion. But because it wasn't tapped in as you're not supposed to cry, you're not supposed to do all these different things. And I think our children, we just live in a different day and age where our children need to be knowledgeable in order to be their best. Like you said, reach their potential.
And how do we know that there's something going on with our child?
Right.
If we ain't talking to them.
If we're not talking to them, they're going to act out. So where is this behavior coming from? Why are they behaving this way? So behavior is a way of communication. Know that. Behavior is a way of communication. So if all of a sudden,
you say it again, because I like that. Like, no, because people look at behavior as such a negative thing, but it's implying something. It's an indication.
It's an indication. It's they're communicating with you. That, like, especially when you say they don't really act like that usually. Well, why are they acting like that now? So they're communicating something, and we just have to be open up our minds and open up our eyes and listen to what is happening.
Yeah.
Listen to them. They have a voice.
Yeah.
You know, they might not be able to express everything, but they are telling you something. So it is up to us as parents to figure out what they're telling us.
Right. Tiff, another question I had for you. So I was at a parenting workshop probably a couple months ago, and one of the gentlemen, he was a police officer, and he was talking about something that was new to me. I didn't know that, like, when you look at the apps on the phones, and if you see double apps, they're secret apps or something like that. Like, say if you got 2 calculators, why did my kid got, like, can you talk about when you actually look at a phone and kind of get some clues or some signs that there's some things going on?
Yeah. Well, I know my kids, they change things around, and they have new wallpapers and everything that I don't know. Whatever the app is something different as from the wallpaper, or they have it in a different language or something. So just be careful on and know what apps are what. So there are some, you can research what apps your children shouldn't be on. I forget the name of all of them. I did have a paper of the apps that are, you know, not negative apps, but our kids like to get on them a lot of times.
Oh, cool. We'll have that.
So we will just have to, you know, depending on your child's age and who they are, just, you know, just monitor. Just tell them open it.
Yeah, because it threw me for a loop when he said, "Yo, if your child got 2 calculators on that phone, what do you think that?" And it's called the vault. A vault. These kids, these are high school kids. That's they're different kids.
They're a little savvy.
But it's called the vault. It's where it's under lock and key. Like only them can open it up. So if you may have 2 calculators or 2 calendars. One of them's a real calendar, one is a fake calendar. That's the vault that allow you to have access to all these other things that you're not supposed to. I feel like if your kid got to be that sneaky, like why? They know that there's something wrong already.
But going back to what Tiff was saying, and we've talked about it before, paying attention to your child's behavior, you know, not getting so caught up in this or that, but communicating with them, having that open line of communication, and not just letting, oh, how was your day? Oh, it was good. Not letting that be enough. Right. Get a little bit more detail, because with my 5-year-old, I want to know why it was good. And sometimes she give me the little irritated, and I be like, oh, you can, because I want to talk about this. And I be like, okay, well, we can talk about that after this. I need to know why music was good, or what did we learn in math today, because maybe I can help you in something. Maybe you can teach me something new, you know? And just having that rapport, and also like mental health days.
Yeah.
I know you might want perfect attendance, but your mental health is like important to me.
My 7-year-old will tell me all the time, I just don't feel like going today. All right, babe, lay down. And if she's up crying and won't get up, she's sleepy. Let her rest.
Because then you send them to school,
and then they're going to act up.
And then you got to deal with that. And then it's like, I know what it feels like to be a teacher and have that kid that's just doing so much. And you like, why didn't you just let them? Like, you know, that sick kid, you wish stayed home?
Yeah.
That's how it is when that behavior starts coming up. Like, why didn't you just let them stay home?
Yeah.
So I'm going to put a little flag on this play.
Go ahead. Because it's not an everyday thing.
No, I know. I want y'all to
thing.
flag on the play, pause, yield. Can you elaborate what a mental health day looks like, should feel like, or a sign that child needs a mental health day? Because here's the thing, like, kids could be very manipulative, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons we talk about really having a relationship with your child so you can understand what's going on. But on the flip side, it's like, what if, like, how do you know that kid need a mental health day? Or because I got my 16-year-old that tests my inner gangster, and if she could get a mental health day every day, she would. I'm telling y'all.
Yeah,
so
but that mental health days aren't every day.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
so what do you say, Tim?
So again, we have to understand the behavior. You will know. You would just say, like, something's wrong. What's wrong? And they might be like, I'm fine, or whatever. They might have a little bit more attitude that week. They might be a little bit more sleepy that week. They might go to bed a little earlier. Mine, like I said, I have a 7-year-old. She'll cry, and just like and stump and everything, like just a little bit more extra, just a little bit extra.
Like she has some glitter to it.
Yeah, she extra. But this time she's yeah. All right, girl, rock out.
That's when you like. I know with the one that testified against her. I'm always gonna talk about her. I become overstimulated, and when they were younger, like I always there's certain words, keywords that I did, so I didn't snap out on them or whatever. Like if it's becoming too much, I'm overstimulated. Mm-hmm. So that they know
they have
mommy needs a time,
mm-hmm.
like or
so you taught them that,
and
they know when to back off.
Yeah,
so. If you keep that line of communication open, especially if you have a teen, adolescent, someone that can vocalize what is going on the inside. So we got to understand that our feelings and our kids have feelings too.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And we need to validate those feelings and we need to validate those emotions that they are having. So, and it's okay that they have those feelings. It's okay that you feel sad today. It's okay that you feel angry today, but we can't do it all day long.
Right. Definitely. I like that. So I like the fact that it's okay. Like, it's okay for you to be angry for a moment. I will be mad too. It's okay for you to be sad. Like, I feel like we think that our kids are supposed to be robots and they're supposed to be happy all the time or have joy all the time or not be like how they respond to certain things. Like they're growing.
They're growing. They're still learning.
And you be mad sometimes too, right?
Yeah.
Like you angry, you sad.
Sometimes you don't want to go to work. So that's why I don't always
and realistically
that part, huh?
Realistically, adults are learning how to manage their emotions.
Absolutely.
That's every day. Every day. We're still learning how to manage our emotions, and you want a 10-year-old to manage their emotion?
Right. Because they're not going, if they don't get it, they won't do. So if we're not being that role model, that example of how to really manage our emotions, how do we expect our children to manage their emotions?
Yeah. So if I pop off every time somebody says something to me, what do you think my child going to do?
They're going to pop off and then you mad at them for popping off. Well, some parents are mad for them for popping off.
Yeah.
But some parents are like, oh, let's go get them. Like,
yeah. But, so...
You get those. Tiff, or do you get parents come up to the school, and when they come up to the school, do they not act a fool sometimes?
I mean,
some parents pop off though, right?
Some parents pop off, don't know how but they want the best for their child,
and they don't know how to handle it,
and they don't know how to effectively communicate it.
What I was gonna say.
And that's why I'm here.
Yeah,
I listen to them.
You're like, okay,
I understand what you. Okay, we want the same thing.
Right.
So, and then I just try to communicate that we're on the same page.
That part. Yeah.
We are partners here, and I want what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to make sure that you get what you want from the school.
Right.
But you gotta make sure you're doing your part too as a parent. No, I'm serious because when Victoria's teacher called and said that, I heard her go like a sigh. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I don't know if she had a previous phone call where the parent drilled her or what. Yeah. But she's like, thank you so much for being receptive. Yeah. Because sometimes it's stuff you want to talk about and you don't want to say because you don't know how that parent is going to come off. Right, it's you don't want to deal with that. No. I just want the best for your scholar. Yeah. At the end of the day, and the only way I can have the best for your scholar if I know what you're doing at home too.
Yeah, right. And just know, She
got her own flag. The yellow thing right there, flag on the plate. Just know that we want the same thing.
We want the same thing, and teachers, administrators, counselors, social workers, everybody, when we're calling home, when we're calling families, we want what's best for your child.
Right.
We want what's best for your child. We're not there to judge. Mm-hmm. We're not there to point the blame. We're not there to do any of that. We're there to help. Right. And being able to receive some information so that we can move forward and give this support that is needed. Sometimes we have to have hard conversations.
Yes.
We have to have those hard conversations. And parents, you may not want to hear it all the time,
Right.
but it's
necessary.
necessary. And we need to come together as a team and work it out.
Yes.
I like that. I think that, again, as we started the show, we talked about parental involvement and not separating everything. Everything wants to be separated. A cake ain't good if you got the flour on the side, if you got the sugar on the side, the vanilla. I'm not eating all that by itself.
No.
I need it all mixed together, right?
Mix it together and bake it.
And bake it. Yeah, like things aren't meant to be. Some things are meant to be by themselves, but when we talk about our children and this parental involvement, like in this mandate on parenting, like we are responsible for our children.
Yeah.
Our children are a gift. And I don't know about y'all, but I make sure I handle my gifts well. Mm-hmm. You know, one, do you view your child as a gift? Mm-hmm. And if you do, how do you handle that child? Mm-hmm. And understand that this partnership with these teachers and schools, it's necessary. Like I noticed that, and just by talking to other teachers, and Pam, we talked to Brielle, when talking about that, they're not just dealing with the academic aspect of our children. Like they're dealing with the behaviors. They're dealing with
the social aspect of it. They're dealing with everything.
And also, if you guys are going to go home safely to your kids, because we have these active shooter drills, we have this, people shooting up kids. So it's not just, I'm just here to educate your kid. I'm here to make sure your kid
they're safe.
They're safe.
We make sure that the kids are safe. We make sure that the kids are educated. We make sure that the kids are emotionally stabilized. Mm-hmm. We make sure that the kids are socially good.
Right.
We teach all of that. We teach not only academics. We don't just teach math and reading and writing. We teach social emotional learning. Right. We teach emotion management. We teach regulation skills. We teach coping skills. We teach all of that stuff within that little bit of time that we have. Or not, let alone the related arts. They have phys ed, they have art, they have library and music and other things. Some of them have STEM, some of them have,
they got a lot going
just
on.
know that our teachers work diligently to make sure that they provide a quality education for our kids.
Wow.
They work overtime. I have some teachers that stay at work until 6, 7 o'clock at night, and they are not getting paid for that. They come to work at 7:30 when they don't have to be there till 8:30. They are there at the crack of dawn to make sure that they are providing the best education for our kids.
Wow.
And parents don't see that all the time. They don't see it, but I see our staff. They are there day in and day out. They are there at the forefront.
That's good. And that's why parental involvement is so important, so that it's a whole team effort, because we all want the best for our kids. I don't think no parent wakes up and say, I don't want my kid to be successful.
Right.
Like everybody wants their kid to be successful, right? Whatever success means in their life. It's just that having the proper tools to make sure that happens. I love the fact that the kind of school counselor you are.
Oh, thank you.
Even knowing you as a person, like this matches you, like holistically when you think about it. Like it's not like I'm this way at this place, I'm this, putting all these different hats on. You're literally the same person as you are in real life as a teacher and as a school counselor. And I think that is so important, that we need real authentic people in these sectors so that our children can grow to their greatest potential.
Yes. Yeah.
And parental involvement is so important, because parents are the first educators, the first cheerleaders, the first teachers, the first everything.
Yes.
And if we don't get that straight, it's going to make you guys' job a lot harder. And some things are going to be deficient in because you have to come up in a different area.
Right.
So, all right. It's been a pleasure. Tiff, give us a couple takeaways real quick, what you want the people to know.
I want everyone to just make sure that you having those conversations with your kids about digital citizenship. Make sure you have open communication with them. Make sure that your kids know that you are there to guide them and not be like all in their business, but as they would call it. But you're there to guide them and make sure that they're keeping making healthy relationships online. Also, setting tech boundaries, healthy boundaries. Setting aside a time for them to have those digital platforms, or set it when it's time to, charge your phone, charge it not by your bed, or put it on the dresser and charge it, or, just making sure that they are able to get to bed on time and things like that.
Okay. Wow. Thank you. So if you guys want to know more about digital citizenship, on our page, Parental with a Purpose page on Facebook, we will have this information on there. There's things that Tiffany shared with us today, and she has some more resources for parents in regarding digital citizenship and other resources that she's going to allow to be on our page. So check our page out, Parental with a Purpose on Facebook, and you'll be able to tap into this digital world and not be in so much fear. Like, we can use it as something positive, especially when we know that the world is digital. Even currency is digital now, so we can't be ignorant and avoiding the situation. We just have to do it the healthiest way possible. Thank you, Tiff, for coming on the show. Pam, what you got? What's our outro? What you got? What you got?
I just want to say to Tiff, thank you so much for your knowledge, for taking your job serious, and speaking on behalf of not just yourself, but the administration, the staff as a whole body. So not just Brandywine School District, but for all counselors, all teachers, whatever role you may play in the educational field, and even as a parent, because you are also a parent. So you didn't just give it from being a counselor. No, you gave it from a genuine position that you play, that you take serious. So I thank you so much for your transparency as well, and giving us these resources so that we can give it to the Parenting with a Purpose community and help our community be better so that we can have a better world at the end of the day.
All right. Thank you for joining
Thank you so much for joining Parenting with a Purpose. I am your co-host, Pamela.
And I'm your host, Donna Janelle. Yo, you guys have a great night. We'll be back.
What I do?
Normally.